improving current performance and grooming talent for the future, both of which are critical for organizations' long-term survival. In contrast, regular conversations about performance and development change the focus to building the workforce your organization needs to be competitive both today and years from now. Business researcher Josh Bersin estimates that about 70% of multinational companies are moving toward this model, even if they haven't arrived quite yet. The tension between the traditional and newer approaches stems from a long-running dispute about managing people. Do you get what you get when you hire your employees? Should you focus mainly on motivating the strong ones with money and getting rid of the weak ones? Or are employees malleable? Can you change the way they perform through effective coaching and management and intrinsic rewards such as personal growth and a sense of progress on the job? With traditional appraisals, the pendulum had swung too far toward the former, more transactional view of performance, which became hard to support in an era of low inflation and tiny merit pay budgets. Those who still hold that view are railing against the recent emphasis on improvement and growth over accountability. But the new perspective is unlikely to be a flash in the pan because, as we will discuss, it is being driven by business needs, not imposed by HR. First, though, let's consider how we got to this point and how companies are faring with new approaches. How we got here. Historical and economic context has played a large role in the evolution of performance management over the decades. When human capital was plentiful, the focus was on which people to let go, which to keep, and which to reward. And for those purposes, traditional appraisals, with their emphasis on individual accountability, worked pretty well. But when talent was in shorter supply, as it is now, developing people became a greater concern, and organizations had to find new ways of meeting that need. From accountability to development. Appraisals can be traced back to the U.S. military's merit rating system created during World War I to identify poor performers for discharge or transfer. After World War II, about 60% of U.S. companies were using them. By the 1960s, it was closer to 90%. Though seniority rules determined pay increases and promotions for unionized workers, strong merit scores meant good advancement prospects for managers. At least initially, improving performance was an afterthought. And then, a severe shortage of managerial talent caused a shift in organizational priorities. Companies began using appraisals to develop employees into supervisors, and especially managers into executives. In a famous 1957 HBR article, social psychologist Douglas McGregor argued that subordinates should, with feedback from the boss, help set their performance goals and assess themselves, a process that would build on their strengths and potential. This Theory Y approach to management, he coined the term later on, assumed that employees wanted to perform well and would do so if supported properly. Theory X assumed you had to motivate people with material rewards and punishments. McGregor noted one drawback to the approach he advocated. Doing it right would take managers several days per subordinate each year. By the early 1960s, organizations had become so focused on developing future talent that many observers thought that tracking past performance had fallen by the wayside. Part of the problem was that supervisors were reluctant to distinguish good performers from bad. One study, for example, found that 98% of federal government employees received satisfactory ratings, while only 2% got either of the other two outcomes, unsatisfactory or outstanding.